Everyone, Norman Kinsey here with Real Estate vs. Technology. We have our co-host, Mr. Dan Gandy. Thank you for co-hosting today, sir.
Hello, everybody.
And today we actually have a special guest, but something different. So today we actually have someone that, and he'll tell you how he's related in this world of real estate, but he's not a real estate agent.
Welcome to Real Estate vs. Technology, where you'll get the inside scoop from top producing real estate professionals all around the country, best practices, techniques, and learn about what technology they're using to drive to ensure their success in this world we call real estate.
So we have Pierre. Thank you so much for being on the show today. And for the listeners out there and the viewers, tell them a little bit about your history, how you're connected to this industry, and currently where you're at.
Sure. I started in real estate in 2001. I was an agent in New York City, so I did practice real estate. I did sell homes.
There you go.
And list homes and rent apartments in New York City. Worked for a brokerage in Brooklyn called Fillmore, one of the largest independent brokerages at the time. We had about 500 agents,
Wow.
agents in that company. Ended up becoming, well, long story short, it was really when the tech was really blowing up, I think, in real estate in 2001, where it sort of started. Besides the 90s, like late 90s, you had like Realtor.com and that sort of stuff happened. But in 2001, Craigslist hit New York.
Okay.
Craigslist in New York prior to 2001. I was literally one of the first people posting on, I remember the real estate section on Craigslist being 3 posts and one of those 3 being mine, right?
That's awesome.
And I used to talk to Craig Newmark on a regular basis, and I was part of the agents that lobbied for New York to be a fee market, so we'd have less fraud on Craigslist, right? So that's how far back I go. And ended up right place, right time, was the first director of e-business for this major firm, ended up becoming a speaker in the industry, and then Trulia launched in 2006. So 5 years later, over that time period, I shifted 40 grand of print monthly advertising online with my broker. Shout out John Reinhardt, who's now with eXp Realty, actually.
Wow.
At that time, we were one of the first brokerages ever to move money online, and we tripled our business. I was buying keywords and buying links on highly trafficked websites like Curbed, which again was a little site run by Lockhart Steele, just in Manhattan. And I bought the first link on his site, bought the first link on Brownstoner, and really built this SEO marketing machine back in 2001 through 2006.
Wow.
The whole Trulia launches 2006. I get it immediately. I get the value prop of Trulia. I understand the vision of the team, and joined up. And I was the first salesperson there. In 2006, I got hired, and was there for almost 9 years and built 4 teams. Agent side, brokerage side, first brokerage and listing side, then industry marketing, then agent, and then rentals.
Wow.
And so after that, did 3 years at Real Scout, which is shout out Andrew and Real Scout. Also a limit off agent product as well, if I'm not mistaken. And was a great 3-year run with Andrew and helped bring them national they were just in SF and Seattle when I joined them. And by the time I left, we were in dozens of markets across the US, all the way to New York. And then now at Local Logic. So that's a long story, but it's an 18-year career. Sorry about that. And at Local Logic, we provide data. We sell data and location analytics to brokerages, websites. We have customers. Realtor.ca is a customer in Canada. Redfin's a customer in Canada. In the U.S., we are about to launch a major national portal. Can't say who, but we have brands like Nook Real Estate, a couple others. So that's what I do. That's what I'm doing now. Love real estate. Love it. Live it.
Wow. Well, what do you think is a big challenge when it comes to technology in the world of real estate?
On the brokerage side, it's adoption.
Okay.
So just buy stuff and give it to agents. On the agent side, it's confusion and just a lot of junk. So I think picking the wheat from the chaff would be the hardest thing for an agent today.
Okay. So just too many options. Just what do you do, right? It's interesting. Okay. As far as advancements with technology and real estate, what do you see?
Lots. I think that video and media, pull marketing versus push marketing, right? Just a lot of great refinement, I think, and what does it mean? What's the value prop of real estate agent? really every facet of the industry in the last 18 years has changed drastically, right? Like drastically changed. And the speed of the transaction, digital signing. I mean, none of that stuff was even, I remember, like, was never even a thing, 8 years ago, right? To where it is today, right? So you think about all those changes and the speed of the business where now we have iBuying, right? And, that's all happened because of all that stuff that happened the last 18 years. The freedom of information, leaving the MLS, going to sites like Trulia and Zillow, putting a price on a home, what Zillow did with his estimate. Then the transaction digitizing. The crash affected the market tremendously because now you had Wall Street see for single family investment as a major thing, and that brought in just tons of capital into the space. Agents got smarter. It also cleaned up the industry a lot, I think, and then here we are. Like, I mean, just it's a completely different business, and but it's great because there's so much good stuff happening with social media, the ability to market, the ability to connect with people in a real way, which was back in the day it was just postcards and knocking on doors, which is not bad.
Yeah,
it still works, but you have other tools that really scale you and make one agent like a team. The team concept didn't exist to the point where it exists today. And the ability for a team to have the impact of a major brokerage is all because technology has impacted the market.
Wow, that's amazing. And definitely, I mean, technology nowadays, you could literally be able to get, take your past efforts and let that be out there for 24 or on YouTube forever and build up search just from your video. It's just, it's amazing.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. My questions, I have a couple of really good ones. What do you see as the biggest disruptor right now in real estate?
Such a bad word. It's a good word.
It's a good and bad word, right?
What's disrupting? So disrupting, I don't know if it's disruption as much as optimization, right? Like, I think it's the way I think about it is like, again, back to the transaction. The more the transaction gets simplified, the more agents are going to have to fight for their value. That's a disruption to me.
Yeah.
Like because if your value is negotiation, pricing, like if you think about like everything an agent does, right? And if that starts getting commoditized, right, then what's left becomes what you're fighting for, your commission dollars. And if people look at the cost of commission and they see that it's been flat, 5-6% forever, and it's actually gotten more efficient and the price hasn't changed on that, that's going to be a problem eventually. Like, it's already happening. That's why iBuying is happening. But there's still like service. I think, shout out to Side Real Estate for a second. Their model, I think, is an example of like the future, where you have like the transaction part of the business, and then you have the relationship part of the business.
Is that similar to like Rex?
Yeah, or EXP-ish.
Got
EXP, your technology. Let us handle, but let us handle legal too. So legal, indemnification, accounting, finance, like that whole part, the back office stuff. Let us handle that for you, and then you do marketing. I think that's a great, and like you do your brand part, right? Which is relationship and helping somebody make the most important decision of their lives. Yep. So I think like agents have to focus what they really do and where their value comes from, so that when somebody challenges them on commission and on the transaction and all this stuff, they can really vocalize clearly, like, look, I'm gonna help you in the biggest transaction of your life. It has a lot of ups and downs, and you want somebody to guide you through that, and that's what I'm here for. So I think those are some things that are disrupting. Is that the commoditization of the transaction from iBuying to the digitization, that's going to make a challenge for commission.
And I think you said something there that really resonated, which was, I think Gary Vee actually said it too, which is the most important thing for an agent in 2020 is your brand.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a brand, and people need to know you, and you need to be the authority in the local area, that you're the expert that everyone reaches out to.
Right.
It's
my agent here is that guy. My agent here, I just moved to Montreal. I emailed the CEO of the company. The CEO of the company said, "This is the guy you want to work with. He's a top agent in that area. He knows the market really well," and it worked. I mean, he knows everybody. He knows everything, and it made a difference in me getting this house. Like, if it not for him, I wouldn't have gotten this house. We wouldn't even known it was in the market. like, you know, and really seen the opportunity in it because he knew the area so well. He knew the builders, everything. He knew the block, the street. He came to this house and he knew our neighbors. And like, we pulled up. He was like, "Hey, let me introduce you to these folks who are looking at this home." Like, that was fantastic. We met the neighbors because they came out and saw him. I mean, I've never seen an agent so. I mean, I've been working in this industry 18 years. Who was so well connected to the community. It blew me away. And that to me is an example of a great agent.
That's awesome.
That says everything.
It does. Prediction. Biggest prediction or a prediction for what's going to happen over the 2020 here in the real estate business.
I think that iBuying will find a really smooth spot to sail in. I mean, you look at Zillow; they're making great moves. Zillow offers their brand capability to drive that, to be a lead gen machine for Zillow Premier and for listing agents around the country. I think is just going to be unmatched. I think that interesting partnerships are coming out now. You see, like Open Door just partnered with MoxieWorks. Like, there's a lot of iBuying now going deeper towards the agent and seeing the agent's impact in the space. So I think agents are going to become a big, much, not that they're not now, but a really clear part of the iBuying story in 2020. And I think you'll see the brands shift to like, look, like our role is X, but we still need an agent, and the agent's going to do Y. And I think like that's going to be really interesting to watch in 2020 because you're seeing it happen. You're seeing the partnerships start to come out. And I think you're going to see, and Zillow's already started it last year in a quiet way with Zillow offers, but I think you're going to see that expand. I think you're going to see a lot of brokerages contract, though.
Yeah.
I think we saw Alon Pinnell and major brands get bought up by Compass. But I think besides that, I think a lot of the enterprise brands are under a cash crunch right now. They've built a business a certain way, and the business has changed.
Yeah.
And the profit margins have become really painful for my friends. I mean, and you like, I know folks who, like I said, like my friend John left a family, like he's dad 40-year business because of the changes and challenges in the space right now, and he saw eXp Realty as the right way to go.
Wow.
No office locations, independent agents, like working as brokers and like remote, and he saw the benefits of like building a brokerage that way today versus the way that people built them back in the day, which is get an office on Main Street. Like that's sort of not really the thing. So I think those are the things we're going to see more of. We're going to see more contraction, more change, more of the shift to remote. Teams are blowing up like crazy. And I think like we're going to end up with a 3-tiered brokerage system.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. In terms of tools, what are your favorite tools you see right now that you either obviously you're not an agent right now, but seeing the industry, CRMs, like
I talk to a lot of tech companies. You guys be surprised.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share some cool tools that are out there. One, I will disclose. I buy this company. It's called Astroom, but it's a Matterport competitor. So instead of spending $4,000 on a Matterport camera, you use your iPhone, and it stitches together a full 3D dollhouse, Matterport level 3D dollhouse for like $30-$40 a month.
Wow.
And everybody has an iPhone in their pocket, and it's brainless. It works. It's beautiful. Look them up. It's ASTER Room, Astra Room. The founder is a Facebook data scientist who saw the impact of video, and he's also from Taiwan, where literally 100% of the market has a 3D virtual tour.
Wow.
Because everything's so compact, right?
100% of the market has a 3D virtual tour, and people expect it there. So he saw the opportunity here in the U.S. and he was like, why doesn't this exist here? And he built it, and he saw why, because it's $4,000 for Matterport camera. So so that's why. So that's one. Two, I saw great technology at Inman last week. I was at Inman last week.
Okay.
I sat down with Jesse Bowden. I don't know if you guys know Jesse Bowden. He's with Call to Action.
Okay.
Hope I didn't ruin that. Hope it's the right company. I think it's Call to Action.
What do they do?
If it's not, look up Jesse Bowden. So it's a fantastic texting platform, communication platform. But like versus it being AI, which I loved his perspective on this, versus it being AI that automatically responds, it lets the agent take care of like building relationship, and the agent can customize the interface and like what it says and how it says it. So it's a little bit of, it's not really AI as much as it's like automation that's customized and personalized with really deep like listing and location data. And I really like it. You know, he has a couple thousand customers. Reviews I've heard have been great. So I think like that kind of technology is meaningful. I'll do two other ones. Just sorry.
Cool.
Well, I think Ojo Labs is super interesting, and then I also obviously I think Liftoff Agent is super interesting. So I think those are like, you know, platforms that, you know, Liftoff Agent side, a platform, a service that really covers the agent's brand and lets them focus on what they're good at. I think is really crucial. Like that kind of stuff. That's why I like Side. That's why I like you guys. That's why I like this stuff, because it frees up the agent to be experts at what they do. So anything that allows the agent to get time back, and be more effective, right? That's the kind of tech that I love.
That's awesome. Those are some really good tools. I'm sure our listeners and viewers can use those.
I wrote them down.
Yeah.
No, it's awesome. Last question on my end. A book you could recommend to anyone in the industry, sales, marketing?
Without a doubt. There is one book, it's my Bible. Like literally, this is the book on sales that all sales books say the same thing that this book says in 100 different ways. It's Influence by Robert Cialdini. Like, I mean, I'm sure you guys have, I don't know if it's Influence by Robert Cialdini. This guy is amazing. He breaks down like I think it's 7 items, it's like 7 things. I won't spoil the book for you, that are what all successful salespeople do. And what he did, the quick story, he actually got sales jobs. He's like an anthropologist angle. Got sales jobs at amazing like companies, like door-to-door salesmen, car dealerships, like you name it. He went through every single waiters, and then he shadowed the top salespeople in those companies. So he got trained in their sales processes, and then shadowed the top reps. And then he was analyzing what they did in their sales process. So across all sales spectrum, from waiters all the way to dealerships to real estate, he sat to like multi-million-dollar salespeople. He sat with them all to understand the core components of what made a great salesperson great versus not great. And he put it in a book and scientifically defined it. And I'm telling you, it's science. It works. It's mathematical. These 7 components, you add them to your processes, and some of them will be obvious to great salespeople, like reciprocity is one of them. Reciprocity is if I give you a gift, there's some part of you that feels like you owe me some time or owe me something. Even if I don't say that. If I just bought you a coffee, you're going to remember I bought you a coffee. It's just something that's intrinsically human, that when you receive something, you remember it. And so and so that's like one of the anchors of the 7 is reciprocity. And so, and the other 6 are great too. So, but that's an example. The book, everybody should read it, should make it part of their business, and should try to apply 1 or 2 of those things. If they don't have it as a strength, try to add that to their process. It's amazing. It really is the book.
That reminds me of the 7 Triggers to Yes. It talks about that as well. If you do something for someone else, they'll be more inclined to do something back. That's awesome. So we're getting closer to the end now, and like every episode, we like to end off on a high note and let you take the floor. So the floor is yours. Any advice for the individuals out there listening or watching this in the real estate industry?
Geez, when I think about this industry right now, it's super exciting.
Okay.
And I absolutely agree. Protect your brand, like build your brand, even if you're under a brokerage. My great friend Lou Belisario, one of the top teams in Compass in America, has 25 agents in New York City, the Lou Belisario team. And you can look him up, and his brand is strong. Like he works his brand. Yeah, he's a Compass agent, but even at Compass, he works his brand, the Lou Belisario team. And I think like that's the example that's out there today, folks. You look around, you look at all the top agents. I like to call them star chefs. And I think any agent out there, you need to ask yourself, and none of these choices are wrong, by the way, what I'm about to tell you, which one you want to be. All right. And I'm going to go to restaurants for a second. Do you want to be McDonald's? Do you want to be Ruth's Chris? Or do you want to be Guy Fieri? Okay. None of those are bad. If you're McDonald's, you're a $1 billion organization. And that might mean that you're working at Redfin. That might mean you're working at, something at scale. Let's just call it that. Maybe KW, right? Things that are super large, but that like trends that just is a giant brand and you're in there, right?
Yep.
Ruth's Chris to me is like the Sotheby's of the world, the Compasses of the world.
Okay.
They're luxury brands that you go to, you seek out. Like when you want to have a good steak, yeah, totally local steakhouse, but nobody feels bad going to Ruth's Chris, even though it's a chain, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So nobody feels bad doing business with Sotheby's, right? Nobody feels bad doing business with Compass. Like there's no like the cachet is there. That is my point, right? And then you have Guy Fieri or the other star chefs, which to me is like the Kenny Trongs of the world, perhaps, or maybe like other the folks that are on HGTV or like or Lou Belisario in Manhattan, right? These are folks that like they demand local respect. They do a pop-up shop and people come. Yep. Right? You do a pop-up restaurant, tickets are sold. Oh, what's his name? Lou, the French dude. I used to love him. He was on The Taste. But like he's in LA. But anyway, he does a pop-up shop, 300 tickets sold, $300 each in an hour. Right? I forget his name right now. Right? Yeah. But like those are so who are you gonna be, agent? Do you want to be a star chef? Nothing wrong with that. Great. Do you want to work at a brand that's gonna last and it's like nobody feels bad doing business with? Great. Or do you want to work at the McDonald's, which has scaled processes? That's simple. You're going to walk in. You don't have to think. They hand you the book. You do the business. And I think know who you are, align yourself with that organization, and ride the wave to success. Otherwise, if you're a square in a circle, it's not going to work.
Wow. That's awesome. Well, way to end the show on a high note.
Paint the picture, right? That's the clarity that agents need. So.
They do for sure. So thank you so much for co-hosting, Dan. Thank you so much, Pierre, for being on the show today.
What a pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Listeners, our viewers learned something today because I know I did. I saw Dan taking notes over there. So, so we appreciate you all tuning in. Until the next one, take care and have a good one.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. We hope you found value and took something you can apply to your business today. Be sure to join our community on Facebook, Real Estate vs. Technology, all spelled out. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would appreciate it. It's Real Estate Tech. And of course, if you or someone else you know would like to be a part of our show, just go ahead and send us an email. It's reversetechtalk@gmail.com, and we'll see you next week.